praise you enough, God. Somebody say, even if I tried, it wouldn't work because.
Okay.
Come on and lift up your voices. So good to me.
Hey guys, how y'all doing on this rainy day? Welcome to It's a Family Affair radio show. If you can go to our Facebook page and join, and also join us on Fishbowl Radio Network. We will be on the Blue Stream. And please feel free to call in at 214-431-5062. You guys doing okay out there? Hey, Jordan.
Hey, I'm Jordan. I'm going to be like the co-host, I guess you would call it, of the show.
I can't be the co-host? No?
I guess I'll be the
I'm
host.
just kidding. Just kidding. So how was your day today?
It was good.
It was good?
Yeah, we didn't do much.
You didn't do much?
No.
Hopefully y'all are staying safe out there. I'm really excited about our topic today. Our topic is I Am Enough, recognizing our worth as women and as teens. Jordan, how would you describe what our worth? How would you describe your worth as a teen?
Okay, as teens, I think we think more so of self-esteem and our self-worth because you have all these people looking at you, and kids nowadays are much more like they have opinion on everything. So
yes,
everybody's thinking about how they look, but the difference between self-esteem and self-worth, or I guess it ties in together. Self-esteem has to do with your self-worth, and I think if you know your self-worth, that is good, then you have nothing to worry about.
That is so true. Would you say also if you know your self-worth, you won't fall into like peer pressure, and wanting to be a follower, or do you just feel like it's just one of them things as a teen that we're all just going to go through?
I think it can go hand in hand. I think most of the times you won't fall into that, but sometimes like you can really just lose yourself and just do crazy stuff. But when you get out of it, like you're like, I knew my self-worth, but I did this. And when you do come out of a situation, you tend to be stronger, and you know your self-worth even more than you did before. So
and I would say me as an adult, I know my self-worth now, but even as a teenager, I didn't know my self-worth because, a lot of you all know my story, with my mom and my dad. And so I was just, I guess, people are natural-born leaders. I was just a natural-born follower, which is not good. So I didn't know my self-worth. Like, I didn't know anything. I had low self-esteem. I was just very angry, and I just put up with a lot of stuff. And my mentor, when I was younger, she's, instilled all these things into me. And now that I'm older, I look back and be like, oh, wow, like these were tools, and things that she was trying to teach me, to know my self-worth. So to the teens that are listening out there, what kind of nuggets would you give them, like recognizing your worth? So like, for example, if I was to give an adult, an example, like, okay, you would know your self-worth if you're dating the guy and you just have certain standards. So it's just certain standards, and barriers and lines, and your value that you're not going to cross. So what would you tell some of the teens ways to recognize if they're struggling with their self-worth or if they have it down?
I think like you said you had a mentor growing up. I think mentors are a big part of learning your self-esteem because they can help you in ways that nobody else can, in ways that maybe your parent, you don't want to talk to your parents about. Mentors are a very good help when it comes to learning who you are, learning your self-esteem. But I think self-esteem, honestly, I don't think there's no way to learn how to get learn how to find good self-esteem. I think you have to go through your journey just like anybody else. You can't it's not a book to read when you think of self-esteem. I mean, there probably are, but it's not like you can't follow steps. It's not in chronological
like step
order.
1,
You
wake up, step 2, things like that. I got you.
You have to go through your own process, your own journey to find who you are. And
Would you say you ever struggle with self-esteem or knowing your worth?
I think, I'm not going to say I struggle with it, but I never but I didn't know it. Like, it wasn't a struggle, but at the same time, because I never thought about, oh, I think low of myself or I think high of myself. I just thought of me as I was just, the person who had a friend, and who had enough friends. I never thought of it as, do I think that I am a certain way? Do I think I'm good enough? I always thought I was good enough.
That's good.
Okay. Confidence. I had confidence, but it was like low-key confidence.
Come on, low-key confidence.
Like,
what does that look like, Jordan? What does low-key confidence look like?
Like, when somebody hates on you, like, it'll hurt. But at the same time, like, you'll be thinking, like, is it true? That's, like, the bad part. But the low-key confidence is, like, but I know I look good. So it's like that kind of
no
thing.
cap. I know I'm cute. No cap, right?
It's kind of like that, but I think.
Dang, I just had low self-esteem. I didn't have no low-key nothing. Mine was just all out there. What was the pivotal moment in your life when you knew your self-worth? Like, did you have like an example, or what was like the aha, like I have it? How old are you?
14, 15.
So you're a freshman in high school? Yes. So how has the transition been with your worth and your confidence from middle school to high school? Would you say there's been a big, transition in like knowing your self-worth or your confidence, or do you just still feel like I'm low-key confidence?
Middle school, I didn't have a lot of confidence in middle school because I was new to the area I was in, and I was so used to being around a certain type of people. Like, the people that I grew up with, confidence was just the thing that you had. Like, it was like the typical, you're kind of like the cool girl, so you got confidence either way it go.
Yeah.
You walk into school, and they know who you. It's like that, but you're in elementary, so it really don't matter. And middle school,
really not important?
Yeah, it's really not. But middle school, it's so many new people, and you have to learn stuff. I think that was the turning point for me, because in high school, like, I was not going to let what happened in middle school happen in high school. I wasn't going to let myself fall off of anything. You can be, procrastination, like, it's not a good thing, but it's a chance I will procrastinate.
You going to be lazy, Jordan?
Not lazy, but
just gonna wait till the last minute to get it done.
I'll do it, but it's gonna take a little bit. But I wouldn't let myself get to where I was in middle school just because I have grown. Yeah, and maturity is something that you have to do whether you like it or not.
Oh, really? I feel like there are a lot of adults who have not matured yet. So maybe they don't.
There are.
Maybe they don't like it. I would say for me, the way that I knew that it was a pivotal moment for me, I think mine was my junior year in high school also. I remember I was such a follower, sophomore, freshman, even through middle school. I was such a follower. Just, my friends would go to a party, I go to a party. My friends would do this, I would do this. My friends would do that, I do that. And so the moment for me was my junior year, and I was 16 going on 17. And I had just decided that I really wanted to live for the Lord, and like I didn't want to do no more clubbing. I didn't want to do no more, all the other, bad things that I was doing in life. And I had like an aha moment. And so I remember my junior year, it was a very lonely walk because everybody else was still doing, clubbing, hanging out, going to parties and stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't want to do that. I didn't want to do it. And the way that I knew that I was gaining my self-worth and my self-confidence is when I knew I was like, I don't want to do it. And like, I didn't feel guilty about not going to this party. I was just like, hey girl, I'll just see y'all, when you get back. So my values had changed than what, they were before. So I think also in knowing your self-worth, you have to know your values, So even like with, you being your mom's daughter, there's just certain values, that she has instilled in you that goes along with your worth. Would you say so?
Yes, I would, because you grow up, like, your parents always set the standard for you. So if you grow up thinking...
Oh, that's a sermon right there.
Yeah, your parents set the standard. So
are you parents setting the standard?
So if you teach your kids, like, that they have to look a certain way, when they grow up, it's going to go downhill until they learn that they have to live for themselves and not anybody else, whether that's your parents or anybody.
guardian, your auntie, grandma, whoever raising you.
Yeah, you have to install that type of stuff at a young age.
Yes. Even with my 4-year-old daughter, like some of the values that I teach her, like, hey, I'm beautiful, I'm pretty, like, okay, well, who created you? Like God created me. So these are just certain values that I try to instill in her. So when she gets older and become a teenager, even an adult, there'll just be certain things that'll be rooted, and grounded, in her. And so she don't have to worry about, falling, for like the okie doke. If a boy come along and be like, oh, well, girl, you cute. She'll be like, okay, I already know this, because my dad told me this, or you beautiful. I already know this, because my mom and my dad has already, told me this. So there's nothing that a little boy is going to be able to come up to say to her, there probably will be something. I take that back. But still, it won't be, like that drastic to where she feels like that she has to lower her standards. And I think just even as a woman and as me, as a young girl, and even with me being a teenager at the time, I just feel like insecurities, get like magnified through like social media. So a lot of the teens or whatever, even the adults, think that a lot of their worth is coming from the things, that they see. It can come from the car, it can come from the job that I have, or it can come, from the guy that I'm dating and all these other things. Or there are some girls at your school who feel like that they gain, their worth in, okay, well, let me make sure my face is beat, because if my face ain't beat, I can't go nowhere. And that's all about confidence, because only thing makeup is supposed to do is enhance your beauty, not like just take away all, the flaws and everything like that.
I don't know anybody like personally, but I do agree with the social media thing.
Yes.
Like, especially women. Women have been like set such a high standard of the idea of beauty that it's trickled down to the smaller generation that makeup is the number one thing. Like, you see all these people, not like, it's fine to wear makeup.
Right,
like,
right.
Because, like you said, it's supposed to enhance your beauty. But, when people get so insecure when they take off their makeup, like, even girls at school, like, when they take the makeup off and they come to school, they're like, oh, I look so terrible. Like, it's really not that serious, but it's because social media has set such a high standard, and all these celebrities, like whether it's their body done or just simple stuff it's made such an impact on the smaller generation that when my generation does get older, I believe that may be a lot of what you see, because that's the example that we're getting from the media.
Yep. I was watching, do you watch Wildin' Out?
Yes.
I was watching Wildin' Out last night with my husband, and I don't know if you know Erica Mena. She was from Love and Hip Hop, and she was on there. And so she started in the industry kind of young, but of course, for y'all who don't know, Love and Hip Hop is a reality show, a ratchet reality show. So she's on the New York version now. She's like engaged to Safari, which I have been delivered from watching those reality shows. I only got one now. I used to watch like 5 or 6, but I'm down to one. The Lord is good.
Which one do you watch?
Real Housewives of Atlanta.
We stopped watching that a long time ago.
No. See, I don't feel like they're all bad. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not as. I'm just really trying to make a justification for my guilty pleasure, and it's not even one. So they're not good. But so Erica Mena, she used to be skinny, and so I noticed as I was watching Wildin' Out last night that she got her butt done.
Yeah.
And I know of a friend, of mine. Well, I guess she would say associate. She had, Dr. Miami,
Yeah.
But, gluteal maximus. Did I say that right? Yes, the glutes done. But, like, she got messed up. Like, it is not pretty at all. And as I was watching her, and Nick Cannon, made a little joke, the Wildin' Out, the Wild Style one, that, her butt is, like, falling. So it's like you're doing all this to, like, yes, like you're doing all this to enhance your body. And just like, baby girl, like, you were fine just as you were. Like, but because no one has taught her self-worth, or maybe even if they did, somewhere along the lines, somebody then came in and, like, told her, what the opposite of, of self-worth is.
Yeah.
And I was just, and my heart was just so heavy, because I was just like, these girls, you know, like girls your age, like, you know, this is what they, you know, look to. You know, this is what they look to. I've never had the thought of having any kind of plastic surgery done. I'm just very scary, you know. But, you know, there are girls that are like in high school, you know, that are like doing stuff to their bodies. Yeah. And it's just like, know your worth. And the way that I would say to discover your worth is, to all of those who are believers, I would say you find your worth through the Word of God. If you're not a believer, find you some self-help books, you know, even though Jordan said she don't feel like no one, a book can teach you that. But she said, you know, maybe they can. But, you know, you find your worth in the Word of God. You know, like it says in Ephesians, you know, 2:10, that God created us. You know, we are His workmanship. So everything that we need, like, we already have in us. Yeah. And so I think, even as I sit here with you as a teenager, like, I feel like you know your self-worth. Yeah. It's just like by looking at you, you like certain things, like, nah, dog, I'm good. Like, I'm just, and I want you to keep that, because like it will take you a long way. And as you see these girls at your school, like, so many of them are followers, you know, like, even with dating, you know, even when it comes to boys, and they get in their head and think, you know, that a boy is going to, you know, do some miraculous, I guess, mind-blowing thing to teach you your self-worth. So when it comes to the worth, do you feel like music have an impact on the way that the teens feel about their self-worth?
Yes, I do. Because, like, lyrics are the most important part of music.
Say that again, Jordan. That'll preach. What?
Lyrics are the most important part of music, and when all these rappers talk about maybe getting a woman and leaving them the day afterwards.
Yes.
Or, like, looking pretty with all these enhancements they've got on their body, like, and all this other stuff, it makes you think, well, maybe if I did do that, maybe these men will want me, or these boys will want me more. And that's not really the case.
No.
Like, and it's lowering yourself to get a man when I believe everybody has somebody out there for them.
Of course.
You should not lower your standards.
Of course.
Your standards of the person or about yourself in order to get somebody.
Yeah, and like even in the lyrics of the music, it's like, you know, they're calling you B's and calling, you know, H's and like calling you out of your name. Like, this is not what your mom named you or your granny or whoever named you. Like, I'm not a four-legged dog. And a lot of these girls, because they don't know their self-worth, you know, like, they just think that it's, like, so cute. And, I mean, they're just, like flocking to it. You know, they even, like, calling their friends, you know, like, hey, B, you know, hey, girl. Even when I was a teenager, me and my friends used to, sad to say, just ignorance. Me and my friends used to call each other, you know, like the B word. It was like some kind of form of endearment. Yeah. But as I got when I got older, I was just like, that's not even cute. Yeah. It is not cute at all. Or do some of the girls at your school like acknowledge each other? Yes. Like that? What do you be saying? How do you be looking at them?
I don't have like one group of friends either. Okay. So like if one person does something, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go up here with like, cause I've had like a certain group of friends, and for me, it doesn't work, because if they do something, I have nobody else to go to. Like, yeah. If they're mad at me or if I'm mad at them, like, I'm just sitting alone at the table. But yeah. I feel like you should just get to know people, everybody. So if something happens, you can actually talk to anybody. But they do. I think once again it comes with maturity. Yeah. You have to mature over time. And when you're in high school, some people are mature and some people are not.
That's true.
So the way you approach somebody does reflect how mature you are. So, wow. I mean, yeah, I feel like once they grow, they may or may not realize that was just ignorance, what they're doing.
And even, I think it's hard to even maybe put an age on it, because I heard my brother say one time that they get older with their age, but that doesn't necessarily... Basically, just because you get older doesn't mean that you get mature. Yeah. So you would think in your head, like, hey, the older you get, the more wiser, you know, and mature that you will become. And that's not the case, because there are so many women out there, you know, that are like in their 30s and in their 40s and stuff like that. Hey, we got some hearts. They loving what we saying, Jordan. You know, that are like in their 30s and their 40s, even, you know, maybe some 50s, that are like, that have either low self-esteem or they really don't know their worth. And I remember Miss Marilyn telling me in one of our training, not one of them, I've only been to one, but, you know, in our training, you know, last weekend, how the Lord would just have certain conversations, you know, and it like would become like, you know, like a confirmation of the topic or whatever. So today I was at my son's, you know, basketball game, and, you know, and I was talking to a girl and she was just sharing, you know, just pouring out her heart to me. And I was just telling her how it was something, you know, with her boyfriend, you know, / you know, child's father and stuff like that. And so she was just saying she was just like so fed up, you know, she was crying, you know, she was, you know, just all worked up. And so I told her, I asked her, do you want peace? Do you want change? And so she said, well, you know, yeah, I want peace. I want change. And I said, well, how long have you been crying, you know, and talking about this situation or whatever? So, of course, you know, it's been going on for some years. It's just a very toxic, you know, relationship. And I told her, I was like, you have to make up in your mind that you want change. Because when you're constantly doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result, that's called what? Insanity. It's just like, you're insane to think that, you know, you're doing the same thing, but you're not going to get a different result. And I told her, and it just popped in my head, I titled today, and I was just like, wow, if she knew her worth, you know, like someone or dropped the ball either when she was your age or when she was past your age. So even somebody dropped the ball in teaching this girl what a man should look like, how if he got too many kids, you know, and there's nothing wrong with blended families or anything like that. I feel like, you know, they're amazing, you know, if they're done right. But somebody dropped the ball in teaching her what the standards were. You know, so what's the standard? You're not going to let a guy call you out of your name. So the first time he do that, you're going to do what? Say run, Jordan. Say, I'm going to run the other way.
I'm going to run the other way.
But no, like even, and so, like, have you heard some of the guys at school, like, call girls out of their names? And do they answer, or do they just, like, joke around with it and think it's cute? Like, no.
I have, but usually it's not their boyfriends that do it. It's like somebody who's trying to get with them. They'll be like,
that is the wrong way to try to get with a girl.
They like some stupid stuff, and it's crazy. But I don't think calling especially if it's serious.
Yes.
Like that, at that point, you've gotten emotionally attached to somebody.
Oh my God, yes. Do you feel like an emotional attachment is harder than like a physical attachment? So, like, when you're, like, connected with someone, right? So, it's like you put up with all these things because, like, oh, I love him. Yeah. Like, love is so much bigger.
I think emotionally, an emotional attachment is harder to get away from. Because physical, you can get that with anybody. But if it's one person who really has you, you can get with all the people physically that you want to, but that one person still will be on your mind. And if you did them dirty and they're not going to come back to you, then that is on you, and you have to take the guilt of that. You have to get over that person when they're over you. And I think it's just a lot more to go through than just a physical.
Just a physical. Yeah. And so as I kept listening to her, what I explained to her, I said, you're showing your daughter what she should be doing when she grow up. So if your daughter see you letting a man, for one, he's a massive manipulator to put anything off, you know, on her as if it, you know, it's her fault, you know, X, Y, and Z, a little situation that happened. I was like, for one, you have to recognize that he's a broken, insecure guy. And there are so many insecure men out there that don't even know, you know, their worth. Yeah. And so, but I was like, you're showing your daughter the example of what it's like when she gets older. You know, so say, for instance, you know, if your mom, you know, was with the man, you know, and they just arguing back and forth, just very, you know, cussing each other out, you know, like, hey, get your stuff, get out of my house, and all this other kind of stuff. It's like you as a child, if you're, 8 or 9 years old, this is going on in your brain, in your psyche. So the older you get and the longer, you know, if this was your mom staying with this guy, you're going to look at this and be like, this is normal. It's normal. It's normal to live with the man, you know, but without getting married. You know, it's normal for you to have your own place, and you let him come up and lay in your place, and then when he get his check, like, all his money is gone, but he ain't put no. So it's just like her worth is, and it's just not there. It's just very low. And I was just explaining to him, like, girl, you have to dig deep down inside and find your worth. I was like, will it hurt? Yes, it will definitely hurt. It's going to hurt. But at the same time, when you make that stand and know your value and know that you are worth more than this guy being physically abusive, mentally, emotionally abusive, like, you're worth more than that. And so even there's this girl named Dandria with another nonprofit organization helping us help her. She did a what is it called? I just went blank. Help me, Jordan. Not a conference, but like a little day thing on like teen violence, you know, for like the signs that, you know, domestic abuse, for the signs that these girls, you know, need to look for in guys that's going to be abusive, whether it's verbally, whether, you know, it's physically, you know, stuff like that. What would you say to someone if this girl came to you and was like, girl, I really like this dude. You know, he say he love me, but there's this other girl that he's dating, you know, but I really, 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 really love him, but he say he gonna break up with her. Like, what advice would you give her to help her with her self-worth?
If he gonna break up with you, just
no, he said he was gonna break up with the other girl.
Oh,
not her.
Okay.
Yeah, so she believing, you know, that they're gonna stay together.
Okay, so first, she shouldn't be in a relationship if he's having to break up with another girl to be with you. That's number one. Like, if that's happening, then there was no real relationship to begin with. Like,
yes.
And if he's breaking up with the other girl to be with you, or I think she should just get out of the situation.
It just sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it sounds so crazy. I'm not really, and I know it's going to happen. I'm not really a fan, and this is just me. I'm not really a fan of kids dating at like an early age.
Yeah.
Because I think about it.
What's the early age to you?
What's the early age to me? Like middle school. I feel like middle.
Yeah.
Like, I told my kids, and I hope I don't be that mom. I'm not naive to the fact, you know, that they're going to be interested. I just feel like, why can't you just have friends? Why does it have to be titles? And so, what's the point of a title? It's not.
Yeah, because y'all ain't doing nothing, or hopefully.
Because the whole point of dating and courting, you know, even though I'm not, you know, I'm not that seasoned. I'm not going to say, oh, because they're not going to get me. I'm not that seasoned. But the whole point of dating, you know, is so you can learn what you like and, you know, eventually get married.
Yeah.
You know, at 14 and 15, you don't know what you want. You just see this little boy and think that he's cute, and then he's going to manipulate you. And if you don't know your worth or your values, the core that's put in you, you're going to fall and do some things that, you know, that you're going to regret. And some things going to happen, and it's just going to be downhill from there. So I'm just not a fan of it. So me personally, I have 3 kids, and my oldest is 11. I say maybe junior or senior year. Is that too long?
I think sophomore is good. Because freshman, that's usually when everybody is new. Like, everybody's new, and you get to know people. I think sophomore or junior. Senior, that's like you're leaving in a minute.
But what's wrong with that, though?
Like, you're a senior, everybody should be focused on going to college.
But why can't we be focused on academics in school? Like our freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year.
Well, you should be.
Okay, tell me what is your definition of dating? Like, when you think about it, whenever Jessica could say, hey, Jordan, you know, you're allowed to date. Jessica, if you're listening, tell Jordan she can't date till she's a senior. Okay? You like that? Thank you. Okay. So what's your definition, you know, like, of dating? Like, what do you think about when you be like, hey, Mom, I want to start dating? What does that look like?
Okay. I think dating is just, like, finding a person you like or you're interested in and just going out with the person. Like,
where we going? I mean, where y'all going?
Maybe to the, I don't know, like because I think dating and relationships are two different things. Dating is just mingling and having fun. Okay. Relationships is when things get serious. Okay. Like, I feel like dating should happen on the sophomore and junior situation.
Okay, and relationship in college? No.
A relationship should like, because I think you learn people more in senior, and then you go.
Got it.
Because you, like, once you have your first relationship, I think you need a couple of them to actually know what a relationship is.
Let me tell you how old I was when I had my first relationship.
How?
11. Oh. Just fast. I didn't know my worth. I had no one to teach me myself.
Were you in love?
I was in lust. L-U-S-T.
That's a lot of that.
T. That's what I'm saying. That's why there's really no point of dating, because at the same time you're still trying to find yourself. And a lot of girls, and this is why I say, you know, if it's a girl, even I'm just biased because I'm a girl, you know, so I'm like team girl, we rock. But even, you know, a young man, if you don't know whose you are, first of all, you know, which is, you know, your foundation is in Christ, you know, and he's the one, you know, that has formed you. And then who you are, it's just like you're going to be like in this tornado, and it's just very, very, it could just get very dangerous and very bad and just spiral out of control. Because when you don't know your self-worth, you start doing things that you look up and be like, whoa, like, how did I get here? Yeah. You know, like hanging out with a group of friends, you know, y'all, and like they smoking a blunt, and then you sitting over there looking like, oh man, like, oh, should I do it? But the thing is, like, why are you even, you know, hanging out with kids, you know, that do those things, you know, and no judgment or condemnation, you know, towards those kids, you know, they just fell, you know, just going through a little, you know, drought in life, you know, and hopefully they'll come out on the other side. But when you don't know your worth and you get with somebody else who's already an insecure person and don't know their worth, it's just like, it's a tornado. And it's like, we gonna be hurting each other. We thinking, you know, that we like each other, and we really don't. And then it's just like, boys are not naturally, a man in their DNA are just like lions. They're not taught, you know, to be faithful. You know, well, they're not born. Well, let me see how I want to say this. Not taught. I don't want to use the word born. It's not second nature to them, you know, to be faithful. It's like they're like lions. It's like they're very visual. So anything, you know, that's of a female, you know, that walks by, they're automatically gonna be like, whoa, okay, you know, let me get it back. So just throwing that on top of a person who's already insecure and, you know, they're struggling with low self-esteem, just imagine what that's gonna look like. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm not a firm believer, you know, in dating until you get older and until you can understand it. But, you know, like, I feel like you have your head on straight, which I don't want you to date to college now. I done moved it from high to senior year. You know, but I feel like, you know, you have your head on straight and, like, you know, like, what your values are. Tell me some of your values that you feel like your mom or, you know, even your grandmother, even, you know, people around you, if you have a mentor, you know, or not. Tell me, what are some of the values what are Jordan values?
My values are, I've had to learn them, but like, I feel like my values are not caring what people think about the way I am. Well, I used to, but like
I think we all do. I just think us as girls, that's just some, even, you know, even as an adult, you know, like I was thinking today, do I want to put on some makeup? Or, you know, like, or do I not? Because, like, I'm under the weather, but, you know, I'm really excited about being here. But it's just like, I don't think that's ever, you know, would get old. I think, you know, we just suppress it and just be like, you know, I'm fine, you know, the way that I am. So I feel like that's just going to be something that we probably struggle with until, well, not really struggle, but we're going to be cautious of really, it's just the world we live in and how we are.
But I don't do it to a toxic point. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to do that. Well, once again, I probably used to, but now it's like not worth it.
Yeah.
Another value of mine is, like, what's another value of mine?
It ain't got to be deep. It's just, like, things that you would not compromise on. Like, so I'm going to just use me. I'm married, but, like, if I wasn't married, one of my values would be, like, if you ain't got no job, we can't talk. So, it's just, like, certain things that's just, like, this is the package deal. And, like, even with my kids. So, like, some values that I'm trying to instill, and I'm going to get back to yours. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm giving you time to think. You look like you was like, that question caught me off guard. So, like, some of the things I want to instill in my kids, like, okay, I would love for my kids to date a believer, just because that's just the household, we're believers and that's just what we do. But one of the things is what I want them to ask, okay, I don't want them to only ask, do you go to church? So the values that I want to instill in my kids, do you read your Bible? Yeah. That's a value because everybody goes to church. Yeah. Do you read your Bible? Can you tell me what come after Genesis? So these are things, I know it's like so weird. Is that deep? Yeah. But it's just like these things because like I want to instill that. So like these are our values. Faith, family, these are just the things, just to name a couple of them.
Okay. Maybe my values would be when I get older and now, but mainly when I get older, I will not let myself be around people who have nothing going for them.
Oh, that's good,
Like,
Jordan.
who have no goal that they're trying to set, who they're just sitting on the couch or their mama house.
Jessica, you is doing a good job raising this girl. Come on here, 14 going on 15-year-old.
Like, I don't think that's smart to put your stuff around because then you'll start doing it.
Yes.
And then a year later, you was like, I had this job, and then now I'm just sitting on the couch.
Just chilling.
No job.
Just chilling.
And like another value, I think that's like the main value.
Those are some really good ones. Yeah. Those are some really good values, and excuse me, I'm sorry. And your values will change. Like you said, the older you get, I think those are some great values. When is your birthday?
The 27th.
Of this month? Oh, okay. Those are some great values to have. I'm going to just say 15 because we only got a few more weeks to your B-Day. I feel like those are some great values to have at 15. Because at 15, I was already dating, like, very strongly, doing things that, married people, was supposed to be doing. That's what I was doing at 15. I didn't have no values. I didn't because and I don't want to use it as an excuse, that no one taught me. But it's an excuse because no one taught me. But also at the same time, the older you get, like you can teach yourself. Google is like so powerful. You can just like type in, whatever it is that you're looking for because it's so powerful. It is so powerful. How do you maintain a healthy balance, continuing to grow?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Maintaining a healthy balance and growing. I think it goes back to what you said, like not being around people who are not basically like excelling in life.
When I get older.
No, that can even be now. Yeah. Like you don't want to hang out with girls who dumb, like who ain't doing their work. Like that ain't it. Like you want to be the smartest one in your crew. Like you want people around you that challenge you, so you can apply that now. You don't have to wait till you get older. Like you can apply that now. The way that I maintain a healthy balance, for one, I realize what's a priority. What's a priority? And for me, in this year, I made a goal that 2019, like my family was going to be a priority. So, going to churches, and having different, friends and stuff, they always having events. And, so I was always the type of friend, like, yeah, I'm coming, yeah, I'm going to go. But, like, I really know, I'm tired. Like, I just canceled an event, that I was supposed to celebrate my birthday that was in January. Last night, I canceled it and we got to take a rain check. Because my priority was, I knew I was going to be here today, and my son had been having basketball games all day, and it's just a busy month. I was like, I want to have family night.
Yeah.
So that's what that looked like. First, I would say you have to realize and what's a priority. So for like if I was a teenager, my priority would be getting good grades and passing. You know, like school would be a priority, you know, my faith would be a priority and stuff like that. And then just like a healthy way to balance it, that just goes back into what is a priority. Like sometimes I'm going to be able to go, and sometimes, you know, I'm not.
Yeah.
And the way that I continue to grow is just by, you know, reading my word, you know, and again, because I am a believer, that's what my life, you know, is made up of, you know, and not everyone is a believer, and I understand that, you know. No condemnation, but hopefully you get it together before it's too late.
Yeah.
No. But, you know, even like reading, you know, books, you know, I'm not a big reader. That was one of my goals for this year, that I was at least, you know, going to finish a book. But yeah, you can read books, you know, to help you grow. You can, you know, go to like different seminars, or you can go to like different conferences. Like me, I'm taking some of my girls to a conference, you know, this Friday, because I want them, you know, to be able to grow in their faith.
Yeah.
So now, since I explained to you what does that look like as far as like balancing it, do you feel like you have things that you have to balance in life? Do you do any sports?
Not anymore, no.
But at the time you were doing sports, you had to balance it between sports and homework and stuff like that, right?
I think that was also like one of the reasons I did not want to do anymore, because as soon as I got home from school, I knew I only had an hour before I had to go back out, and I wouldn't get home until 8 or later. And then either I had to do my homework, or I was gonna make the choice to go to sleep and do.
Which choice did you make? Did you go to sleep?
Most of the time, yeah. And then I would just get up early and get it over with. Like, that's a lot of what I did last year. Was that last year? No, 7th grade. Mm-hmm. Cause that's
well, I'm glad you made it to 8th grade, sleeping through homework and stuff.
But now, like, my priorities as I'm growing, since I don't have a specific task I'm trying to get done, mine is just making goals and making sure I achieve them and excel at them.
Tell me a couple of your goals that you made for this year.
Get through high school strong, or get through
strong, like all A's.
No, not that strong. But
she said no, not that strong. She's like, hold on, Miss Monica, not too much.
Just get through high school with.
But why not all A's though?
I haven't even done that yet. I've gotten a B on a roll every
Is it like
time.
High B's?
Yeah, it's like...
Girl, yes. So all that is, I think that would just have to, I think that would go into continuing to grow.
Yeah.
And not, you know, being stagnant with and being comfortable with making just B's.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe...
Or challenging.
Yeah. Or challenging yourself. And I think that's how you can grow. Even if it's just one class. But like, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself, you know, to get an A in this class.
Yeah.
And then once you get that first A, you're going to be like, you know what? This is kind of cool. Yeah. And then I'm telling you, when you get all these A's and you get that GPA up, you're going to save your mama some money on paying for this here college. So I would challenge you in growing in that area at least, you know, to, especially if your hobbies, you know, just go, especially, you're not doing sports. What else are you going to do with your life?
And then I feel like if you work for it, then the outcome is going to be better.
Yes, because you value it more. Like, stuff that you really put in hard-earned time for, like, you will value it more. Mm-hmm. So I would say, what is something that you would tell your younger self, even though you're still young, maybe like let's just say, what is something that you would tell your 6th grade self? How old are you in 6th grade? 11? Or were you 12?
I was
11, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, because we got those after the cutoff birthdays. Yes. What would you tell your 11-year-old self?
I would say that times don't last forever. So if it's bad, it's not gonna stay like that.
Yes.
Even if it's good. If it's good.
When I always say good.
Yeah.
That is so true.
If it's good, it may not always be good. So
true.
You have to balance things out. You can't just think life is all butterflies. Yeah, but...
What if it was butterflies, though? What do you think our life would be like if it was butterflies?
I think we really know how to handle stuff if things went wrong.
I know, right? It's just been like, it's like putting the kid, like, I love Christian academies, nothing against them, but it's just like, how do you teach your kid how to be the light in this dark world? Like, everyone in this world is not saved. Yeah. So you put them in a school where they learn, you know, Bible, you know, I don't know how Christian academy works, but I'm pretty sure, you know, the foundation and the basis of it, you know, is Bible. You know, so all throughout the day, so if they have an opportunity where they need to minister to someone, or a boy or a girl who's struggling, you know, maybe with sex, or who's struggling with, you know, maybe like smoking, they can't be like, oh, you are going to hell. You know, like, it's not.
We're gonna walk down the street and see some people.
Yes, like, you're not gonna like always. You're not gonna like. Someone said she is so wise to be so young. I agree. I totally agree. Kudos. Jordan and Jessica is her mama. But what I would tell what I would tell my younger self is, girl, get your life together and know, that's how I would say it too, get your CHO life together, and just know that things will get easier, and just know that you were created for a purpose and for a reason, and this season of your life is not, like you said, Jordan, like, it's not going to always be like this. Because I remember my younger self, I had some really, really dark times, and I thought that, like, Lord, like, is it going to get easier? Like, am I, like, in this alone? And now that I'm older and I'm able, you know, to mentor, you know, girls your age, I can let them know, like, hey, boo, it will get easier. But, you know, you have to put in the work. You know, like I was telling, you know, the girl earlier, the young lady earlier, like, you have to put in the work. If you want a different result, you're going to kick him out of your house. You're going to get your lock changed. You're going to get your key. And when you want to see your kids, you know, just call me before you come. Yeah. Like, you have to put your foot down, because you have to know your worth. Like, time out for crying, because tears can only do so much. You sitting there crying, but then you'll feel better for like 10 minutes. Then back to the, you know, the little HEW hockey stick, you know, you were in with stressing yourself out and getting aneurysms and stuff. And so that's what I would tell. That's what I would definitely tell my younger self. Would you want to tell your younger self something else?
No, that's probably it.
That's it. I think those were some good things. So the last thing, what is something you would like to leave with the audience? Like, for your teens, or, you know, like the ones that's on your IG. Hey, IG. I didn't even think about, you know, turning my live on. Like, what would you want your peers to know? Because I feel like, before you answer, I feel like for your age, Jordan, you are so mature. And, like, the standard and the values and the worth, even though that's all in, you know, up under the same umbrella, like, I want you to keep that, because it will take you so far in life, and it will save you so much headache. I promise you it will. If I was thinking the way that you think at 14, oh my God, I would be like a genius or something. But, you know, that wasn't the story, you know, that wasn't the route, you know, that the Lord had for me. So I want to encourage you, baby girl, to keep it up, because I see you. And even though, you know, you look quiet and shy, but, like, when you open your mouth, I was like, oh my God, Jessica is right. Like, she knows how to, like, hold a conversation, which is, like, so good. You know, most teens be like, yeah, no. I'm like, what is like, can we, like, have a, you know, 90, I know it's not adult to adult, but, like, can we have a conversation without you just, like, rolling your eyes? So I just want to say, I definitely applaud you, you know, for your mindset. And I know it's not easy. I know it's not, but what are some of the things that you feel like you do to keep yourself sane? Like, to have that mindset that you have, what do you do?
I think that nothing lasts, that the times don't last forever. So something is bad.
Perspective.
Yeah. Like,
that's good.
You have to have a good perspective on life. You have to have your road, and you have to know that things aren't gonna go good, or things are gonna go good, but everything's not gonna be good. Everything's not gonna be bad. So you have to travel your road, nobody else's.
Come on here. Because you were created for your road.
Yeah, and just be prepared for what's going to happen.
Yes. So do you feel like your peers, do you ever have kids come up to you and ask you for advice and stuff? Or girls come up to you and ask you for advice? Or do you allow them to? Or do you have this guard up like, nah, stay back?
I used to, but I learned that some people's advice can put you down. Like some people's advice is really just mess. Yeah. They're just getting your perspective on the mess that they're in.
Yes, like, yes.
People can be in a whole group mess, and they're like, they go to each and every person. Well, da-da-da happened. Well, da-da-da happened.
Just messy, right? Yeah, just messy.
Like, advice is when you really don't know what to do.
Right, right.
And like, you're not involved in that type of stuff. That is when I'll give my advice out.
Got it. But if they come into you like on some petty stuff, like, girl, let me tell you what Andre did. I don't know who Andre is. I just made that name up. But let me tell you what Andre did. You know, he said that he was gonna and like whoa. Like, nah, dog, I'm good. So like you don't want advice, and that's what's so funny. I was asking the girl this earlier. I'm like, okay, are you? Before I even gave her advice, I say, are you telling me because you want my help, or are you telling me because you just venting? Yeah. Because if you just venting, I ain't even gotta waste. I did say ain't. I ain't even gotta waste my breath because you ain't gonna listen anyways.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. How can the people follow you? Find you on social media?
My Instagram is Jordan Denise.
Oh, such a cute name.
That's it.
So on IG and Facebook? Or you don't? Oh, no, you don't do Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook.
Not too much on the Facebook, Jordan.
Facebook is for the.
For what? Say it, Jordan. All these people are watching. They want to know, what is Facebook for?
The older generation.
The season.
Yes.
I'm on Facebook though. I'm only 33, but okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So Jordan Denise just on Instagram. Do you have a Snapchat?
Yes, it is.
What you be putting? Let me see if you be putting stuff on this Snapchat.
My name, I made it a long time ago.
Oh, what's your name?
It is Get a Life 04. So that is my Snapchat name. I made it a long time ago.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Get a Life.
Yes.
That's your name. Well, guys, y'all, it has been fun. Oh, let me tell you where you can find me. You can find me on Facebook, Monica Hall. On Instagram, I am, what is my name? Simply Monica Hall. And I was once you, the letter U, on all, social media platforms. You can go to my website, and check out the future events we have coming up at iwasonce.you, the letter U.com. Jordan, this was so fun. We were so nervous, huh? We did good. Miss Marilyn gonna be proud of us. All right, guys, it's been fun. Y'all stay safe out there, out of the rain, and y'all drink y'all some hot cocoa. And we will see you guys next time here on It's a Family Affair Radio. I don't know why I had to do that voice. I just wanted to sound it for it. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.